Hey, it's Lauren Rose. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're going to be talking about doing a shift in our perspective. So, I'm going to reiterate a couple of things I believe from last week, but it's so important for us to get this down. I think that's why the Lord brought this back to me again this week. So, how we perceive our situations affects the solutions that become available to us. I remember reading a story about a woman who she became the primary breadwinner for her household because her husband had become ill. And so he wasn't, she had to take over that part of running the household. And in doing that, she was a creator of some sort. I believe she was either a painter or sculpting or something of that nature, or photography or something, but she was a creator. That was her primary uh, job description. She also boarded horses, and so she didn't have a regular W-2 job. And her landlord was, gracious. She had gotten really behind on rent. He was gracious by, letting the rent be late. And then during Christmas, he even forgave rent as a Christmas present. So her landlord was really gracious, but she was still so far behind. And so we come to the point of the story where she said, she had pretty much given up hope about trying to get the rent paid, and she just sort of let go and had given up on being the solution to her own problems. And once she let go, an idea came to her. And this idea was that for her to check for any assistance with her local veterans agency because her husband was actually a veteran. Now, this is the part of the story where I got a little bit irritated because I said, well, why didn't she think of this before? And so what someone was telling me is that in the Midwest, because she lived in the Midwest, to get assistance with going through that process of trying to get any benefits from being a veteran, that costs about $2,000 or more. And so I said, well, getting assistance should be free. So I'm not sure what they have going on in the Midwest. Maybe there's people that help push the paperwork along further. If you're from the Midwest and know anything about the military and trying to get benefits, please comment below to provide some more insight to me and the other viewers. So I have no idea what was going on there. But anyways, the whole point is that the answer came once she let go in terms of being the one that had to provide the solution to her problems. So that's what I want to talk about today, how we can shift our perspective so we can get those answers that we need. The problem is that when we focus on our current circumstance, the answers don't become readily available to us because we're blocking access to creativity and we're blocking access to the solution or solutions. Yes, God is in us, but he also resides in a higher realm. And so he speaks to our spirit, which then gets translated to our mind. And so if we are focused on the problem, if we are ruminating and worrying on the issue, the answer can't get to us because we're in our flesh, which is a lower realm, and God is a spirit. So he's on a different realm. That's a higher realm than the flesh. So you won't receive the correct wisdom that you need. There are two types of wisdom, which is spoken about in James chapter 3, verses 13 through 17. There's a worldly wisdom, which is a lower wisdom. And then there's wisdom from God, which again, that comes from that higher realm. So the kingdom of heaven has a higher wisdom. If you don't tap into the wisdom of the kingdom of heaven, you'll be left to your own self-sufficiency. The answer you seek will be hard to find, and you'll continue having the same issue. So I want to leave you with 3 keys on how to shift your perspective so you can get to that higher realm and get the answers that you seek. Key number 1, think higher level thoughts. You'll find this in Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. So you always want to think on the best possible outcome, and you always want to believe that you'll succeed. And you have to drain this in, like drill this into your mind that you will succeed. So this is something that you'll need to continue practicing. And I would say, have a daily affirmation or confession that is positive and speaks always of you doing well, and that will help drill this into your head. Key number 2, believe that you're worthy of greatness and that good is coming to you. One of the scriptures that you can use for that can be found, and I'll link it below. Scripture is Jeremiah 29, verse 11, which says that God has an expected end for us and that he has thoughts of peace toward us. Okay, the last key number 3, is to put your actions to a test. So you want to find out as to whether your actions are high functioning or low functioning. I'll give you an example. If you had all the income in the world that you desired, and you were at the grocery store and you saw some gum, would you put the gum back because it wasn't on your grocery list? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't say, "Oh, this is on my list. This is the budget I came in here that I was only going to spend this amount." No, you would just simply buy the gum. So now obviously we don't want to go overboard on that just because you see something that you're going to buy it. But if there's something that you really can't afford at the moment, just say, "I'll buy it later." I recently had experience with this. I was going to purchase some DoorDash or go to a restaurant, have it for takeout. And this restaurant, they have yogurt as a dessert. You all know those chains where you can get the yogurt and all the toppings that you want. So when I started adding up these toppings, I was paying over $10 for yogurt. And the cup wasn't that big. And so I said to myself, I end up actually getting takeout from a different restaurant. But what I should have said to myself was, I'll buy this yogurt later, instead of looking at how much I was spending on all of these various toppings and the fact that this yogurt was becoming the purchase of an entire meal, which was ridiculous. But anyways, so that's the 3 keys again. We want to think higher level thoughts. We want to believe that we are worthy of greatness and that goodness is coming to us. And then we always want to put our actions through that test. Is this a high functioning thought or is this a low functioning thought? So I hope those 3 keys were helpful for you. And if they were, please comment below on what you found helpful. And please share this video with others who maybe are going through some hard times, and they are trying to seek and find answers and they're just not getting those answers. I think if you follow those steps I laid out for you, those answers will soon readily come to you. All right, with that, I will see you later and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.